Hey everybody, this is Heather from the Hamlet Library. I wanted to come on and we're going to continue this Wreath series that we've got going on. Last time I made a wreath for just 3 items with the garland, the lights, and the ribbon. Today I want to show you a different type of wreath you can make using a wood, just a piece of round wood wreath, some cutouts, and some ribbon and paint. So the things you're going to need are, in this called the Merry Grinchmas is what we're going to do. We're going to do a Grinch thing. Of course, the main thing you're going to need is your wooden round. There are different shapes. You can get a bigger one. This is just one we already had here, so we wanted just to recycle, make sure we use the stuff we had here. You're going to need some cutouts. Now, we have a Cricut machine here, so we were able to cut ours out. Don't worry though, if you don't have a Cricut machine, you can use stickers or stencils to put this on. You can also go on Google, just print you out this little face that says Merry Christmas on it, and just rub the back of it with a pencil and then trace it on that way. You don't have to have any special equipment other than, of course, the paint and your wooden wreath. I apologize. You're going to need your Grinch, of course, your words. These are my letters right here. I got cut out and painted. You're going to need some ribbon or even a bow. I'm not that great at making bows, so I found this real pretty one that matched, so I went ahead and got that one. For this particular one, you're going to need some masking tape. Make sure it is masking tape, not regular Scotch tape or even packing tape. It has to be the masking tape or painter's tape because it doesn't peel your paint off. And of course, to match my theme, I went with red, white, and green. It's not a Christmassy green, it's more of a lighter green because the Grinch is a light green. Alrighty, and of course you're going to need some paintbrushes and a glue gun. Now, we did go with a stripe theme. Now, this one, what you're going to need to do to make your stripes, this is another reason why you need your painter's tape. And depending on how big your round is, they do make different sizes of this painter tape. What you're going to do is the easiest way to measure out and get the stripes you want in the perfect way. And I'm going to show you how, because this one I've already gotten painted for time purposes. If you want this type of stripes, I'm going to show you how to tape it, okay? What you're going to do is take your piece of tape. If with our red, I had to start with red because it took a couple of coats and it wasn't quite as thick as the other colors. So I always go with the paint that takes the most, it's the lightest. So you're gonna put your piece of tape down. That's just your guide, but you'll notice the same width and everything, okay? Then you're gonna take a piece of tape and you're gonna lay it straight down, butt it up against that piece of tape that you did, okay? That first piece you lay down, you're gonna lay that down, take your piece of tape up, lay it back down. Now this is gonna give you the exact size of your tape stripes. You're gonna just keep layering that. You're just gonna keep layering like that. And I am going to peel off another piece of tape just so I can show you. Keep layering it up. Just make sure you line it up real good. And then go across. You're going to continue that. Now, if you want the candy cane stripe, is what I call it. If you want that stripe pattern, you're going to repeat this process all the way down your piece of wooden board, okay, or round. Now, I also have another one I'm doing. I'm going to show you another way. If you want it, it's just stripe. I'm trying to make an ornament type with this one. Not so much the candy cane stripes. I just want to show you 2 versions of it. What you're going to do is, you're going to take your red paint. You're going to paint red first. I'm not going to do it because of time purposes. You take your red paint. You're going to take that. You're going to paint wherever the tape is not. That's what you're going to paint. You're going to paint your red on, And like I said, now if your white's a little bit thicker, I would go with the white first, and then, but with this red, it's that Walmart red, it's a little bit thinner, so I had to do it first, and it took 2 or 3 coats for it. So just paint it on, let it dry. If you unless you got a heat gun, brush it, and then paint you another layer on. And what you're going to end up with is this. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to take this off because that was just an example, just so I can show you this. When you finish and you let this dry, this is your first paint. What you're going to do is you're going to remove your tape, and you should come away with clean lines. Now, if you see where it's bleeding, don't worry, you are about to paint over that. Because some of these woods are a little bit more porous and soft, and they do bleed. So that's another thing to look for. Okay. But other than that, see, you come away with a clean line. That way you don't have to worry about measuring out. You've got perfectly the same size stripes wherever you need them. Now, another thing is when you get ready to do your next color, you can re-tape over that if you like, unless you know that you've got a steady hand. If you know you've got a steady hand, then you don't have to. I'm going to tape over it because I know I have a steady hand. Okay, and I'm going to just layer it just the same way as I did when I started for the red. I'm going to see. Now, if you see where I did have a little bit of red coming through, I'm going to paint over that part because that's the part that bled. So I'm just going to just fold your tape over. Now we're going to paint our white on. I'm going to squirt in some of this cup because I know it's going to take a lot. Well, not a lot, but more than what my brush will hold. I'm going to close that. We're going to layer on our white. Now, if you see, just make sure you push down your tape really fine on the edges. And this way, when you paint close to it, you don't have to worry about being afraid that you're actually going over the next color. It's gonna give you a clean line every time. It's just a quick and easy trick to use, especially if you want to make it stripes on it. It's just an easier way to paint stripes. And like I said, if you know you've got a steady hand and you can get around those edges cleanly, feel free. That way you don't have to put any more tape on it. And we're going to get this part painted white. And now this white's actually going on pretty thick, so I probably won't need but maybe 2 coats. But well, like I said, with most red paints, or at least the ones I found, it takes 2 or 3 coats for red. That's why I wanted to go ahead and make sure I got, for time purposes, that the red was already done. Okay. And see, that went on pretty fast. And I'll probably need 1 more coat. And I didn't bring the heat gun in here, so what I'm going to do is actually that 1 coat might actually do. But while this is drying, I'm going to show you how to finish up your wreath. Because once you, let me put this to the side, once you paint your thing, that's the biggest part of it. And of course, if you get the stickers, if you cut these out, you're going to need to paint these too, like we did here. I'm not for sure. Oh, that was right down. But if you get stickers, they have all kind of adhesive stickers now. I would recommend, if you use the stickers, make sure you have Mod Podge. It doesn't matter if it already sticks. Mod Podge your board, lay the sticker down, and then once that, of course, that Mod Podge is dry, put another layer of Mod Podge. It's going to seal it, and it's going to make sure it adheses perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this out of the way while that dries. And I'm going to lay my paintbrush right there so I know I'm not getting paint everywhere. Okay, now this is where I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish it up with this one. Of course, you notice this is the bigger one. Carmela was able to find this one at Walmart, and I've got the stripes. Of course, once that white finishes, you're going to pull off your paint, and you're left with clean lines. You're left with these real pretty clean lines. Now, this one already came with a attached string to it, so we don't have to worry about it. But I recommend, if you don't have a string already attached, to put that on first. So you flip your board over, cut out your jute twine, your string, rope, whatever your ribbon, whatever you're going to use. You can either staple it on like this is, or you can hot glue it on. I do that first. That way when you flip this over and you're putting on your bow, you won't have to worry about the bulkiness of it flipping over later, okay? Now what I'm going to do is after you've decorated and painted all your pieces or your sticker, I'm going to lay my little Grinch out. Let me turn that sticky. A little Grinch. And all you have left to do now is just glue it on. And work out my letters here. I had them in order, but of course I picked them up wrong and I mixed them up. Okay, here we go. There's the E. And you can actually, if you use the stripes will actually help you, guide you if you want to where to put your, it'll help you line up your letters better. I'll put it that way. Okay. So what I'm going to do is get these on here, make sure. But if you notice, I'm not gluing them on just yet because I'm going to line up my ribbon first, because I want to make sure my ribbon, because it's got such a big stuff, I want to make sure it's not in the way. You're going to lay your ribbon down if you're using one like mine. Okay. And just make sure that your letters aren't going to be covered up by the bow. Okay. So I've got everything lined up now where I want it to go. And I'm going to make sure I got everything, it all spelled out right. I didn't mix up any letters. I'm getting him ready to go. And now all that's left to do is glue them down. Now, if you had a sticker, if you see, you wouldn't have to, or even if you do have a Cricut machine and you want to use vinyl, you can use vinyl on this also. I would probably recommend maybe layering or sealing your paint first, because sometimes those adhesive vinyls, the transfer paper, it may peel your paint, so be careful with that, okay? But if you got one that's a sticker, even sometimes those window clings, you can actually use those, especially if you're just using a solid color background like red, green, or white. You could use those actually. But like I said, just make sure you Mod Podge it to seal it on there, because then make sure it'll stick. And of course I know this is going to stick because it's sticking on there with hot glue. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put my little Mr. Grinch on here. And we are almost done. Okay, just cockeye him a little bit. I don't want him straight. I want to kind of put him at an angle. Get me some more glue. I always make sure you have some extra glue handy, because I always seem to go through it. And if you see strings, you can go ahead and rub them off. It's not I'm using this low temp glue gun on these letters because it doesn't take a lot to stick them on there. It doesn't take a lot to stick it to me either, because apparently it's sticking to me. Let's see. some of my love. That's the only thing about glue gun I don't like is these strings. The strings are everywhere. Okay. Almost done. And you can even, I know like not Walmart, but Dollar Tree I think sells those little adhesive stickers too. And with it being Christmas, you don't have to do Grinchmas. You can actually use some of those plaques that they sell at Dollar Tree. If you don't like the Grinch, which is fine, you can actually use the plaques. You can use those and decorate it with that. Make sure these are on. One last letter. I about forgot my S. Let's see. Alrighty. Now I'm gonna actually use some of my tape and actually stick on there, and this is a good way to get some of your glue stickers off. Even little strings, this is a good way to get rid of it. If you already have tape down, you can use this and it helps get rid of them. Alrighty. Alright, so far we got that. And it's right. Okay. Now for the final touch, the final piece is on. Let's see. I may have to stand up for this one because this bow is kind of big. Let me see if I can make me some room without pushing off my. Okay, there we go. I want to make sure. Now you see there are some twist ties on the back of this one because it is knit for outside wreath. I may actually use some of this tape to tape it down. I am going to glue it so you won't see it. Don't worry, you won't see it. I'm going to glue it down. And if you want, you can use clear tape on this one too, so you know they won't see that. But seeing how it's a Grinch green, I think it'll match, even though it won't be seen. I'm going to just take those down because you can't take those off because that's what's holding the wreath together. The ribbon together. That's the only reason why I didn't take it off. I'm just going to hold it up, make sure I'm getting where I need to be. Okay. You're going to get you a big blob of glue. Please be careful with this, especially those high tint glue. I know I say that every craft, but please do. I have actually had to take my sister to the emergency room because she burned herself on one of these. I mean, she really hurt herself bad on them, so please be careful. I'm going to just hold this for a second just to make sure it's adhesed on there. Alrighty, and there you go. It's as simple as that with some wood, some ribbon, and paint. You've got another different type of wreath right there. Just like the other one, it was three different items: a green ribbon, a garland ribbon, wreath, some ribbon and lights. This one you can do wood, paint, and ribbon, and you can come up with just a great Christmas. Well, I keep doing it wrong. There you go. Well, now please stay tuned for the next one, which hopefully will be next Friday. Hopefully, I'm going to be doing our last wreath, and it'll be with metal paint and also some more ribbon. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Please comment below. And as always, if you don't get to see us live, always go back to Richmond County Public Library page, and all of our videos and crafts, and of course, upcoming events are archived there. Thanks, y'all. Have a good day.